get right into it since we are late. Since we are delayed, I'll just get right into it. We have Andrew Callahan in the building of Channel 5, formerly his other media venture, which was also profoundly successful, All Gas, No Brakes. And lastly, but not least, Andrew is here. You can come in, Andrew, if you want. Andrew is in the building. Andrew Callahan, ladies and gentlemen. Returning guest, one of the most sought after guests of all time.
What's up, chat?
Andrew Callahan in the building. We are going to be talking about a lot of stuff today, but specifically, he just has a new documentary that just came out on HBO. It's crazy. This guy's a documentarian.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
It's gonna be pretty insane when you win awards. Actually,
You think I'm going to?
I think so.
I hope
100%.
Yeah, it's crazy. It just
I think
came
you deserve
out.
it.
I'm tripping. It's like HBO. It's really happening.
Are people hitting you up already? Like you woke up and you came here.
You're the first guy that I've actually talked to in person since the movie released on HBO Max. So,
That's fucking sick.
I hope people like it.
I watched it this morning. I loved it. So, but then again, I'm a little biased. You know what I'm saying? Like I always used to tell you, like, the only thing I hate about your series that you do on YouTube is that, like, I wish it was longer. And then you did that. You did a fucking 1 hour and 30-minute long YouTube video.
I think it's 92 minutes, dude.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Saving our country.
Yeah. Will we watch it on stream? No, we will not be watching it on stream. HBO would clap my ass cheeks for that, I'm pretty sure. So we're not going to do that. You got to get super close to the microphone, or cool. I could just...
close. It's all good.
Hold on.
We can watch, like, select scenes from it on, like...
We could do that. I could also... Hold on. Let me see if I can, like, fix the effects editor here.
Do I sound, like, super quiet?
Well, it's because the noise gate is on. I think that's probably what it is here. I just turned it off, so you'll be fine.
Oh, sick.
Anyway, watched the documentary earlier and it was great. Fuck yeah.
Sick. Thanks for watching it, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Anyway, drop the documentary name, Andrew.
This Place Rules.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. HBO Max, streaming now.
I'll tell you one thing that I am critical of. Then this is more of an HBO thing, but, like, I couldn't remember what the name of it was when I was first looking for it, and I wrote in Channel 5 on the HBO app's, like, search bar, and it did not show up.
It was supposed to be called America Shits Itself, but HBO's legal team was not going for that one.
That's okay. Well, that's an L that they took there. I'll tell you that much. Okay. So it would have been wonderful if they called it America Shits Itself, but hey, you know, each their own. Yeah. I watched it last night. It was a 2022 highlight. So one thing that I didn't actually talk about on the podcast, by the way, Andrew was a returning guest on Fear and. He just, we just did our Fear and episode with the kid. Okay, here, I'll increase his gain a little bit more. Maybe you can hear him better. Here, talk. Just do a 1, 2, 3, 4. Do a
1, 2, 3, 4. How do I sound, guys?
Okay, you sound great now. Cool. I think this should be. He's still really quiet. This is a delayed response. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Everyone's saying it's good.
Yeah.
Sick.
So was Will there? Yes, Will actually surprisingly made it last second. I thought Will was not going to be on as a guest and it was going to be a one-on-one interview, but Will literally did make it. So people are spoiling it in the fucking chat. The twist with the QAnon guy.
It's all good, man.
Okay.
Oh, we're talking about Pedo Dave.
Yeah, Pedo Dave. Yeah, dude, that was fucking wild. Is he cold? Take your jacket off, man. It is cold in here. I blast the AC in here pretty fucking hardcore today.
No, but the Pedo Dave scene is definitely the hardest I've ever had to film.
Yeah.
Because he had a gun on his waist during that Chris Hansen moment that I pulled off.
Now he's spoiling the fucking documentary and he's spoiling the podcast because we talked a lot about this.
Well, I don't know what I'm supposed to not say because we just had some sick ass
conversations. I know we had a lot of great combos earlier. Obviously, the podcast will be out on Monday. Fear and on the paywalled side, we also shouts out to your Patreon as well. We dove a little bit deep into Andrew's Patreon and paywalled content that we watch behind our paywall at patreon.com/fearand.
But if you want fucking Will almost threw up during that that piss scene.
Yeah, it was incredible. We made Will eat a burrito while watching some of his uncensored content, and I think Will's a changed man.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll do that. Can you ask about a possible UK release? Wait.
Yeah, so right now HBO is in the process of like selling the movie to different countries and different distributors. So it should be available in Europe and in Canada like within a few months, but it's going to be just US for most of the winter. The Pope died?
The old one.
Oh.
Yeah, this is like boring.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, he was old. The multiple self-sucking accidents changed him. Yeah. He is why Will's a changed man, is he? He did too much self-sucking. Anyway, I'm gonna blast off here, okay? We're gonna blast off real quick before we normally do it. No parasocialist update for you guys. No personal news update other than the fact that I watched James Cameron's Avatar: Way of the Water last night, and it was fucking it was excellent. I loved it.
Really? Avatar?
Are you a James Cameron head? No.
Not really a James Cameron head, but I thought the first Avatar movie was all right.
I loved the first Avatar movie because it made me want to be Na'vi so bad, and it also like made me want to fuck the aliens really bad. Yeah, that was definitely a thing I was thinking. This time I didn't want to fuck the aliens as much, but I still want and I didn't even want to be Na'vi that badly this time. To be honest,
saying that movie's like racist? Is that what they're saying?
Some indigenous people have actually gotten mad at the movie's release again. But I mean, it is what it is. I liked it. It was a fun movie. Any sort of movie that has like tribal or indigenous indigenous cultural infusion is going to draw ire from indigenous populations who are, of course, victim to genocide and are in dire. They live in like dire material conditions. So, but it was an amalgamation of a bunch of different indigenous groups. It was great. The director said some stuff, supposedly. We talked about this before. It was like fucking 12 years ago in an article where it is a white savior. The first one was white savior. It was Pocahontas. The second one is not as much, I guess, like unless you personally recognize him as like being one with the Na'vi at that point. It's cool. It's fun. You'll like it. If you enjoy I've never wanted humans to get murdered more than it just makes you root for the aliens, against the humans. Pretty fucking hardcore. Anyway, I just found out about the HBO show and the dude shows up here, Lamont. That's how it works, baby.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
A Hassan Hobbyhead who's unaware of my body of work.
I know. It happens though, dude. This is like.
I thought our communities were pretty crossed over, but I guess
they are. But there's always new people coming in here, bro. There's people in here that fucking don't know that I'm related to Jank.
It's crazy, dude. We've been hanging out for years, dude.
Yeah. What is this exclusive clip from This Place Rules that I didn't watch?
Oh yeah, this is a more serious one, but it's a good clip. It's a clip that I did in Atlanta, shortly after my meeting with the Q family. Actually, because shortly before that, when I met the Spencer family or the Q family, there was a really fucked up officer-involved shooting in a Wendy's parking lot, and it was kind of happening at the.
I want to show
time.
both of them actually because I do want to talk about this. This was one of the. This was one of my favorite parts of the documentary in general because you nail so many fucking good concepts in the entirety of this thing. I highly recommend it. It's like I mean, I've always looked at our content as companion pieces. You know what I mean? Where I think that you're doing something brilliant. You're out there, and you're directly, talking to these people, getting a better assessment of what's going on the ground. And, a lot of people in here in this community specifically, obviously, kind of saw 2020 through that lens of what? That's funny. Okay. Okay. That's the blast off meme we're going to be using. Okay. You don't have a Twitter, right? Well, before we get into this, hold on.
No
let me
Twitter.
just blast off real quick.
No Twitter, no crypto.
I mean, yeah, I'm on the no crypto train as well, but definitely use Twitter a lot.
I'm excited to give some context for the Q family and how I met them too, because there's a lot of stuff you can't see in the documentary. I want to explain.
On his first in-person interview
since
his doc dropped last night on HBO. We got Community Award. Oh wait, hold on. 2023 predictions, resolutions. We're gonna play a game too. I'm gonna make you do 2023 predictions as well.
Oh shit! Okay, I'm down.
How do you?
Oh yeah, ask me about this CNN shit too.
Oh yeah. Don't worry, we'll talk about that too.
Some things.
Resolutions, community awards later. There's Eve. Get in.
I'm gonna grab that coffee from right there real quick.
Okay. It's weird and awkward to just like fucking type away while I have a guest here, but this is a fundamental part of the broadcast. Okay, we're good. Here you go, blasting off. Let the people know. We're gonna need some predictions as well. Don't worry, I'll give you some fucking predictions. Okay. All right. Okay. Also, it's already top of the hour, but obviously we're not going to do the ad break here because I just started. But I don't know what part of the planet is now in the new year. I wonder. So let us know in the chat if you're experiencing New Year's. If you're experiencing New Year's right now, let us know. This was a fire meme.
Yeah, it's good.
Eastern EU. Okay. All right. Well. Anyway, gobble tank. Thank you for the 5. Get the subs. Blast off. This is what I do normally. So every broadcast when I first start, I'll do like the intro music and stuff like that, and then after that, I'll talk about my personal news about like what's going on, what I watched, all this shit. Or
Yeah, it's cool to see it all happening.
And then after that, 30 minutes in, usually, I'll post a tweet like this, and I call it like the blast off tweet.
Yeah.
Because not everyone gets informed off of Twitch specifically. So I got to let everybody know that I'm live. You know what I mean?
We've basically just blasted off.
Yeah, we just did. And you're on it now. Barbara Walters is dead. Long live Barbara Walters. I think you're infinitely better than Barbara Walters, by the way, for the record.
I actually don't know who she is, so thank you.
She's like a famous journalist interviewer that recently died. I think died last night. So
the
everyone
same
is.
night that This Place Rules released?
Yeah, exactly.
It could be connected. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's what it is. It you know, like the Princess Diana reincarnation memes. Have you ever seen those?
No, I haven't.
Oh, dude, they're so sick. People say like BTS. I think Jimin. Did they say Jimin is Princess Diana reincarnated or whatever? Jungkook.
Can I hit this coffee real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks, dude.
Dude, I have also an insane amount of cold brew if you want. In the fridge.
That would be fucking good. But we just blasted off, so I think we have to give him something.
No. Don't worry about it. Go grab whatever you
have
want.
Cold brew already in individual bottles, or you have a bottle
here,
with cups?
take this. I have a bottle.
This is enough cold brew for me. This
No. In single
servings.
Yeah.
Pre-packaged.
Yes.
That sounds
Go
fantastic.
check out the fridge, but you can have this one too.
No, it's all good.
Anyway, what the fuck? Linus is kind of based. What do you mean?
Wait, what is this? What is it? Where's
No, you're not supposed to look at that.
For the potato
Oh, that is sick.
famine. You're gonna put that in the Brits PC?
No, that doesn't. No one talks about that, Linus.
That's awesome. That is awesome. You love to see that. Why is he so surprised you have the cold brew? Yeah. I don't know. He just... Yeah, bro, I have everything. Yeah. I have the most stocked up ass fridge on the planet.
Do you have a bottle opener or a lighter?
No, that is a twist off. They're all twist offs.
Yeah, American made.
Hell yeah.
We're about to be powered up for this goddamn Twitch stream. Shout out to Stumptown. Shout out to Hassan.
Yeah.
HBO Max. Patreon.
This is a PC cool with tea. Okay. Anyway, all right. We were blasting off.
Watch some clips from the documentary.
Yeah, we're gonna do that in a second. So yeah, no, hold on. Let me just fucking do it again. She famously did 2020. We'll talk about Barbara Walters in a second. Actually,
Yeah,
I think this would be.
I'd love to know some more.
I mean, she's like good and bad. You know what I mean? She has
Totally.
she has like really good interviews. Like she's known as like a contentious interviewer who like gets in your fucking face and will like, especially when talking to people in positions of power. That is like seen as a valuable quality, obviously something that you rarely ever see with like modern day journalists because they're more interested in access journalism.
Right.
However, she also kind of did that against like, you know, victims of like Hollywood predation and shit like that too. It's
She
like
was grilling
weird.
them, being like, "Are you fucking?"
Yeah.
That's kind of whack.
Yeah. Anyway, she famously asked the hard questions, but like also was kind of mean to people.
Sounds like not really my style. I kind of ask the light questions.
Yeah.
Allow people to reveal themselves. Sounds like Barbara Walters is on the opposite end of the journalistic spectrum in terms of questioning style.
Yeah, but there is a space for that, especially when you like.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Especially when you are talking to like billionaires and shit. Like she literally would just rip into people like.
I just saw someone in the chat say Barbara Walters could never do the Yeet interview.
That's true.
As if that is the highest standard of journalistic integrity.
It 100% is. What are you talking about? Your Yeet interview is the highest standard.
Yeah. He's a fascinating character, huh?
Yeah. Barbara Walters would never get the Yeet inside scoop. He would never be able to get Yeet to like also FaceTime fans.
She would never get Rolling Loud VIP press passes, dude.
That's true. Exactly. She would not be able to talk to the perked up shouties. Okay.
Perked up shouties.
Her interview with Mother. Okay, we'll do Barbara Walters in a second. Okay, we're here for a different purpose. Okay, we're gonna talk about before I introduce Andrew to Barbara Walters. Okay, and all the things that she did and the fucked up shit that she did as well. We are going to talk about Channel 5's very own, friend of the show, Andrew Callahan, and his new HBO documentary that just came out. Okay. Here, we'll just start off with a trailer, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's just show the trailer. It's called This Place Rules.
The whole government is compromised. They made it seem like our votes counted, but our votes wasn't worth a lit fart in a wool mitten.
Bro, you've memorized it.
Yeah, I have the whole movie memorized.
That's crazy.
My name's Andrew Callahan, and I first went viral online for interviewing people on the road, going to different conventions, conspiracy rallies,
That's
music
me, man.
festivals. Then in 2020,
How does that feel?
Crazy to see yourself on HBO.
That shit is real.
It's revolution time.
Pandemics. Remember that? So this is the story of the events that led up to the January 6th Capitol riot.
We are the storm!
As I saw them unfold.
You may have gone to bed thinking this election was headed one way, and then you woke up and saw things were different and trending increasingly in another direction.
Woo! We saved the country.
We did it. We did it, Joe.
Joe Biden is the apparent winner in the state of Wisconsin.
No more mail-in ballots, Mr. Mailbox.
So while it was true that everyday people on the right were being censored and kicked off social media,
98% of the media have a leftist agenda.
Oh my God, she was fucking insane.
Spoiler, she's a rapper.
Yeah.
And people say that I have a sixth sense for finding rappers, but she actually found me. And started rapping. But she said she learned to rap because she was a substitute teacher in the hood.
Yeah.
And that's how she was able to connect with her students, which to me is so fucking funny.
It's such a white person thing to say, to be like, that's the only way I could talk to these black kids. Like, it's like they're like a different fucking breed or something. Yeah. Psycho. Anyway, Andrew, is Jonah Hill pretty cool? We're gonna talk about all that. Stop asking questions. No more fielding questions to Andrew for now.
This is the sign.
Just watch.
And into tighter and tighter echo chambers.
They've been sacrificing children to Moloch.
Animal, human clones.
This is the best part. There's so many good parts.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
Individually, it's like top 3.
God, the fucking.
I think the
I want to start a
conversation.
commune. If you
film.
need anything,
Yeah.
you get it. There is no money.
Yeah, that is the best part.
Hell yeah.
No Trump! No KKK! No fascist USA!
We were pitted against each other by organizations and individuals who do not care about us and are enriched from our division.
You are the tip of the spear.
You ever feel like you've gone too far down the rabbit hole, man?
This is only the
That's a great
beginning.
question as well.
What's the end?
There is no end.
So yeah, This Place Rules is out on HBO. And I watched it earlier this morning, and it was fucking awesome. Okay, one thing I will say is I actually hate when I see like callbacks to 2020. When I see it on like movies, like oh, it's the pandemic. Like Glass Onion, which just came out on Netflix. It's the second part of like the murder mystery to Knives Out, starring Daniel Craig. Had a lot of those components in it. Like they were all like wearing masks and stuff, and it like made me cringe. On the other hand, did not make me cringe. It was it showed the mania of 2020 perfectly.
Yeah,
I would say.
Well, thank you. I tried to make it retrospective in a way that was like examining it from now, as opposed to trying to recreate like fervor and panic of that period of time.
Yeah.
Also, it's not really about January 6th specifically. It's about like the lead up and the undercurrents of that time that are still very much present and active today. So we tried to do as much as we could to like make it relevant. But at the same time, I would have preferred the movie came out, to be honest, like, a year and a half, 2 years ago. But making a long feature like this with an actual production company, and it takes a long time. It's definitely it was a change, but I'm excited about it.
Yeah. It was also not dehumanizing to the people you were interviewing, although it's still entertaining and funny. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
That is something that we talked about on the podcast as well. This is like Andrew's forte is just
yeah. Did you see the scene with my little cousin, my 8-year-old cousin?
Yeah,
that was my favorite part.
I love your uncle being like, don't do any of that fucking weird shit.
That's a real voice message from
yeah.
my Uncle Jeff.
Which is so funny. He's like,
don't take my son to a Q rally.
Yeah, don't do any of that fucking weird shit.
No furries, no.
That was great.
Yeah. I'm glad you liked it, man.
It's not available in Europe yet, but HBO's working on it apparently.
Yeah, eventually. I think their idea is like once it gets super popular in America, they're gonna try to sell it to European and Canadian distributors.
Yeah,
but
you are the OG. Let them cook. Let him cook.
Yes.
You're the let him cook man. So Andrew Doc is available in Canada already on Crave, our bootleg HBO. Okay, good to know. Anyway, it is wild to see your career. As Cool Bivens points out, it's insane to see how far you've come since I found Quarter Confessions. You deserve all the praise, man. Congrats, for real.
Thanks.
It is wild. Only a couple years ago you were doing that.
I made my first video in the December of 2018. So
we started. That's like pretty much when I started doing Twitch.
It's been about 4 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. You were like the first streamer that I actually thought was tight.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And now that you know more streamers, you know that is firmly the truth.
I still basically just know you.
But yeah, ask him about his sex life on the road. Why are you such a pervert, dude? Are you okay?
That's so whack.
Take an hour off, chatter. I'm spraying you with fucking water.
2 shows a night.
Yeah, fucking weirdo. Okay. All right, so This Place Rules came out. I watched this morning. I fucking loved it. Okay, there are a lot. I've always, like I said before, I've always seen like Andrew's content as like a perfect companion piece to what I do here on the stream as well. Like reaching out to people in ways that I never could imagine or do. He's a brilliant interviewer, not contentious. Does a really good job of like showcasing people's like true beliefs and perspectives in a way that, still doesn't work to like do propaganda for them either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is part of the reason why I think they get mad at you afterwards.
Who in particular?
Well, Alex Jones got mad at you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It is hard though, 'cause you can't really fit this movie into a particular box. And that's why the CNN interview with Don Lemon was so awkward.
We're gonna get to that in a second. But before we talk about the CNN interview, I want to show one of the incredible dualities that you pointed out to in the American experience within the docuseries or within the documentary itself. First, we're going to talk about the Q family. Okay.
So to clarify, this is a family that I met outside of the Georgia governor's house. It was during a protest during the Stop the Steal movement. They were outside of his house demanding that he overturn the election results because, as you know, Georgia was a blue state in 2020. So this is outside of his house. Fun fact, this is an event where the keynote speakers at this small rally were Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes. So they delivered speeches about 30 minutes after I first met the Q family. So the Q family is actually called the Spencer family. And I had never seen someone this young at a right-wing political rally. And so, like, what you're seeing here is the first interaction I ever had with these folks. So there was no... This is just the raw footage of the first meeting.
Child molester. And he kidnaps children and does horrible things to them. Just like Hillary Clinton and Obama, who made the virus. The virus is man-made. It doesn't exist. Kids need to be put back in school.
The people who are pulling the strings is the Italian Vatican. They actually are reptilian bloodlines from another planet. They're basically robots. And the evil people that are there, such as the Rothschilds, who suck blood out of children to get...
I mean, yeah, this is like he's entirely too young to be this like mentally ill, but he got it from his dad.
I think he's just consumed in like the science fiction sounding mythology of it all. Because, you know, kids have big imaginations, so this is like a pretty compelling way to connect with your dad, too.
Yeah.
Like, they don't like play catch together. They just like sit around and talk about deep state cabals.
Yeah, I mean,
you form of bonding.
Exactly. You get into whatever your father's into, and unfortunately, the dad is into like really the awful shit.
What's funny though is he wasn't before, you know, like 3 months prior. So it only took a few months for his dad Brandon to be fully consumed in the Q sphere.
Yeah, and he's. I mean, let's not spoil what happens to them. You got to watch the documentary,
So
but like
for context, in the second part of this film, I meet back up with the family like maybe 4 or 5 months after January 6th to kind of evaluate where they're at, if they're still deep in the Q hole, and it was very interesting. So check it out to see that.
So one thing though that I found to be particularly interesting about this is that like you basically said something that I've been talking about for a very long time, which is that like a lot of the QAnon people are in these like socially alienated, isolated bubbles.
Yeah.
And they create a sense of community for themselves. But more importantly than that, the people that like flew to the Capitol.
Yeah.
To do January 6th, to like, you know, to do the insurrection. Like those people, this is a hobby for them.
Yeah.
Whereas this part of the this part that I thought was like really interesting because you showcase it right next to one another. People protesting police brutality.
Yeah.
In their towns,
And
like
so the reason this kind of came together is because the Q family doesn't live in like the bumfuck sticks of middle of nowhere type vibes. They actually live in Atlanta proper. On their block, like they have Trump flags and QAnon flags and shit, but every other house on their block has like no human is illegal, water is a human right. Those yard signs, like they're on a pretty heavy like a Joe Brandon block.
Yeah.
And so they're pretty much a half a mile away from like most of the projects that are in South Atlanta. And so right before I met them, there was this officer involved deadly shooting of Rashard Brooks. And so I kind of just abandoned like my Stop the Steal beat for about 3 or 4 days and just kind of dived into this world.
So let's take a look.
Police chief just stepping down in the wake of a deadly officer-involved shooting. An attempted arrest in a Wendy's parking lot, turning to a struggle over a stun gun.
Ask yourself, how do you think you would do, regardless of what color you are, if you snatched a cop's taser and tried to shoot him with it? Most likely you'd be dead.
Of course, Tucker Carlson immediately running propaganda for the police, even though loves fucking running anti-police narratives when it's January 6th, but loves pro-police narratives.
That was definitely the most fascinating shift of the whole documentary.
Yeah.
It's just like back to blue folks just turning completely anti-cop after the Capitol riot. It's crazy.
Look behind you. Look at this shit right here. You see this man, Rashard Brooks? Police just brutally murdered a man right here. Didn't even give a fuck. You feel me?
Rashard Brooks!
Shortly before my meeting with the Spencer family, a 27-year-old man named Rashard Brooks had been killed by police officers in a Wendy's parking lot. Protests erupted, which resulted in the burning of the Wendy's and the accidental killing of a young girl due to a stray bullet.
He came to get some food for his family from the Wendy's. He was a little intoxicated, you feel me? So he parked his car in this parking lot. Fell asleep in the car. The police got him out the car, asked him some questions, and that shit went left. It wasn't black people that burned this Wendy's down.
Who burned the Wendy's down?
It was actually a Caucasian female.
Then a little girl got killed
No
right there
surprise.
in the parking lot. We just left on getting the bottle. A little girl got killed.
That shit took a little girl, man.
Fuck 12, man. I love Wendy's, though. Y'all got that good 4 for 4. I fuck with that, though.
Rest in peace, Rashard Brooks, Breonna Taylor, and everybody we lost this year to police brutality. COVID-19, because my granny had COVID. She beat it. That shit is real. Everybody take care of themselves.
More folks might start joining us right now. we had this shit packed. The whole street might be blocked.
Oh, man, here we go again with this bullshit.
So what do you guys want to be when you grow up?
Basketball star.
This is so sad. This part, the
Football star.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I'm gonna be myself.
How's 2020 been so far for you guys?
Good and bad at the same time.
What do you mean?
My cousin died. He was just minding his own business, then he got robbed, and they pulled out a gun on him, then shot him 4 times in the back.
You gotta talk up,
That's my one wish, to see him again. I'll just give him a hug. Brothers. All 3 of us is brothers.
Which one of you guys is the oldest?
Him.
We got to show the kids the same route. Like, they got to look up to us. Shit. We're the next generation. They the next generation.
Everybody tired of everything. We tired of sitting in the house. We tired of getting fed lies, bullshit.
Hey, it don't matter who president ain't gonna never change. Same thing gonna always be going on in the world. What's going on now? You see what I'm saying? Like, hey.
Yeah, for a lot of people living in these conditions, like, it doesn't matter if Joe Brandon is a president or Donald Trump is a president. Right. They're poor. So it like nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck about their living conditions at all.
And I think for me, this scene had to be in the documentary, just to show that, like, outside of the world of like mainstream media, echo chambers and outrage cycles and culture wars that are being like propagated online and voting booths, there is actually like continuous real life concerns like systematic inequality and poverty that will continue regardless of who the president is and have continued for hundreds of years and beyond.
Yeah.
And so it's like you have to also frame that, like, this isn't a leftist thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas the Stop the Steal movement is in fact a conservative right-wing political movement. There's nothing necessarily political about poverty. And that's
I mean, it is a product of American politics in the sense that, like, but it transcends beyond like political ideology for sure.
Democrat or Republican, like, everyone should want people to not live in the projects.
Yeah, well, but also the reason why it transcends beyond politics is because both parties are kind of to the right with respect to like how they treat poor people and how they treat poverty in general.
Are very much not centrist.
Yeah. But this was really good because it truly kind of trivializes like what the other side is doing or what like even liberals and Republicans are doing in general. Like it really shows that like these people are just trying to fucking survive. Whereas on the other hand, you have motherfuckers with disposable income and a lot of like free time on their hands, running around like creating new narratives about like pedophile cabals and like these fun little breadcrumbs that they're fucking following.
And they truly believed that America would collapse if Joe Biden became president. They actually thought that was going to be the end of freedom and democracy. All guns were going to be taken away. Their lives would just become shitty. When in reality, their lives didn't really change that much.
Yeah, at all. As a matter of fact, like not even remotely. Maybe like the ones that sell Trump T-shirts, those guys like can't sell as many. So. That was the maximum material harm that happened to them in general.
Yeah, and I'm not trivializing. I'm not going to trivialize like it is a problem that the Q rabbit hole and the conspiracy ideology consumed millions of Americans in a 4-month period. That's a real issue. But I don't think that Stop the Steal was a real issue. But the fact that it was happening is a problem. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like it's
no, I understand. I'm just saying that like, look. That's why it's the MLK take of, you know, for those accustomed to a lifetime of privilege, equality feels like oppression. But like for a lot of these people that are definitely like middle class, firmly in the middle class, or even like in the lower middle class, right? They still are living in excellent conditions in comparison to what you would consider like developing nation conditions that a lot of people in this country are subjected to, especially in the South. Like poor black neighborhoods are in dire situations,
well,
right?
Right here in LA too.
Yeah, even here in LA. And the reality for them is just dramatically different.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is like if you're fine, if you're like in a relatively good, relatively decent shape, maybe you're struggling to make ends meet ultimately, but like not extremely poor in the way that these people are, you're basically looking for new fun hobbies. And I think that's why they like pick up political hobbyism in this regard.
Yeah.
Because there isn't anything that you can like truly grab onto. There's no mechanism of pushback. There's no like adequate way to like get your legislators to do the things that you want them to do that will like truly make your life better, like healthcare. You know what I mean? No one's going to give that to you. right? It's just not going to happen. Democrats are not going to give that to you. Republicans don't even give a shit. So if you're living in the fucking suburbs, you like look for new political movements that are fun and interactive, and QAnon was that for so many people.
And a lot of the people who are into QAnon are oftentimes underprivileged. A lot of these people are like poor white people who like, you know, lost their fucking job due to automation or something like that, and then they get this conspiracy framework to latch onto, and then they end up spending their last dollars on going to like Michael Flynn conferences and shit like that.
Yeah,
So
it's really fucked up.
It's crazy, but you know, it's all fucked up. It's all bad.
Yeah.
The only person who can make the word about it, God. It's to me.
Really made me think about like how much free time and also financial stability it really takes to show face at the kind of angry pep rallies that I had been going to for the past couple months prior to that. So many Americans' primary concern is just getting by. You know, they don't have time to fly to DC, get their Trump gear, and just yell about shit that's probably not going to happen. It was also hard to believe that just 2 miles away from where I interviewed those kids in the projects was the Spencer family household, where they live in absolute fear of reptiles and Rothschilds stealing everything from them. I mean, they basically live next door to a segregated housing project, where people's primary concern is making ends meet and ultimately escaping poverty. It made me wonder if it would ever be possible to bridge that gap in understanding, and more importantly, how much power an American president really has in a 4-year term to fix the country with such dramatic inequality. And let's keep it real, poor informational literacy.
This is the sign for a boy lover, right here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but there it is. I mean, that is that very real. It is that very real, like, you know, some people are tapped out of the political battle because they feel. I mean, both of these people, in my opinion, are not engaging in the real political battle. And both of them are not engaging in the real political battle because they recognize their maybe they don't directly recognize their powerlessness, like because the dudes in the projects, they recognize their powerlessness.
Yeah,
they recognize that the system is just like completely fucked and against them. Whereas I feel like the Spencer family also kind of internalizes that powerlessness, but they have no like real vector of anger to direct it towards. So that's why Trump was so successful. Like he basically turned your anger that you feel at all times at any given point into frustration of the elites that are liberal, that have designed society in this way to fuck you over and fuck you over in ways like by allowing gay people to cohabitate
it's
spaces.
All just the same shit as like programming fear into a large group of people.
Yeah.
Knowing what their insecurities are, capitalizing on them, turning them into the Spencer family for their own gain.
And liberals certainly play a role in this as well. And outlets that are otherwise liberal also play a role in this as well, I think.
Mainstream media outlets, like, you know, they're pretty much all centrists, center-right, I would say. And they create the same outrage machine, which is just, like I said, based upon selling ads and maintaining 24-hour news cycles full of what I wanted to say on CNN, which I couldn't say because it was 6 o'clock in the morning. I had no idea I was going to even be asked about Enrique Tarrio. There's a big problem, I think, with like punditry and mainstream media. And, you know, if you turn on the TV anywhere in the country to cable news, as opposed to actual in-the-field reporting, it's basically just talking heads and pundits digesting things for you, telling you how to feel, and then bickering amongst each other because it's kind of entertaining reality TV.
Or even when they do actually do like man on the street shit, oftentimes they basically fucking hyper focus on it with a very liberal slant that I think overlooks the real situation on the ground. Like it's just local news does this all the fucking time. Like local broadcasters are incredibly reactionary, incredibly right wing. So like one of the greatest examples I use all the time is basically that whenever there is like a looting or whenever there is like a situation on the ground, like they'll immediately call it like, oh, these are riots. And instead of looking at like why they're happening, and like you did when you went down there, when you went to Minneapolis, right? Instead of trying to understand why people are angry, they go to the business owners
Yeah.
And they hear their perspective. It's like, why the fuck do I give a shit about the business owner's point of view? You know what I mean? Like, who cares?
But also, it's like CNN does, mainstream media does the same shit, where they're like, these are mostly peaceful protests. Whereas protests don't have to be peaceful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that, you see what I'm saying when I say that it's also center right, because they're obsessed with pushing one narrative versus the other. Whereas like a protest can be violent and involve property destruction and still be valid. But there's no mix allowed, because it's either this is a pointless riot that is taking place so people can get just free shoes and shit, or like there's no riot happening.
Yeah.
And it's just such a strange thing, bro.
So let's does anyone have the link, the uninterrupted, like unedited link of Andrew having a conversation with Don Lemon? Because I want to watch this again.
Andrew on CNN.
It's all like other people.
It's on YouTube. No, it's like there's some shit called like full CNN interview or something.
Let's see if I can find it. Oh, I think someone found it. Here it is.
So joining us now is the director, producer, and stars in this documentary called This Place Rules, which debuts on HBO December 30th, Andrew Callahan. Andrew, I mean, this is a lot. This is a deep dive into this documentary, and there's so much to talk about.
I don't believe they had seen the documentary.
Yeah, did you send them?
No, I mean, I just based upon the question. So bear in mind, this is 7 o'clock in the morning, right? I'm being told they're gonna ask me about me, my life, and the movie. How does it feel to have a movie? What's your name? What can we expect to see? I want you to listen to the first question they ask me here.
Here, let's watch
about
it.
Here when it comes to who you spend time with, what you saw. But, when it comes to what's happening today, Enrique Tarrio, he was not at the Capitol on the 6th, but he still played a role in this, and he's facing some of the most serious charges that are stemming from that day. What did you see from him as you were shooting this?
Yeah, I just talked to him in the lead up to
the first question they say is,
because
what can you tell us about the mental state of Enrique Tarrio leading up to the Capitol riot?
So the reason why they did that is because they don't give a fuck about the documentary. Or they don't give a fuck about your personal experiences or even like the contents of the documentary. They want to cut this as like something about Enrique Tarrio instead.
Yeah.
They were just like, they're hyper focusing on that aspect, even though like that aspect is not, all that unique or interesting in comparison to like the overarching message that you had in there.
Yeah, and
they have a narrative.
But that's like what they want, is to run like an Enrique Tarrio news cycle to get their viewers all pissed off about January 6th every single day and make it seem like it's 9/11 and it like make their viewership never forget about the 6th like it was the worst day of history.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, like, dude,
it was 9/11 for liberals.
Kamala Harris actually said that. You've seen that speech, right?
Yeah. Well, it was in the documentary too.
Yeah.
But yes, of course. These are moments that we can never forget.
the January 6th Capitol riot. Just hung out with him a little bit in D.C. and Miami and elsewhere.
And what did you learn about him?
He sells T-shirts.
That's the perfect way to describe him, though. I think one thing that the documentary showed me for sure, like, before I was always like, you and I have even had this conversation in private where I was like, maybe, do you think Enrique Tarrio is a CIA, or not CIA, like an FBI asset or whatever, because like he had been an informant, right? And no, when you actually watch the documentary, you'll see like, dude, nah, he's just like a fucking T-shirt salesman.
Him and Alex Jones run the two largest Patriot merchandise companies on the internet.
Yeah.
And Enrique Tarrio sells Joe Biden merch on the side. So basically, when I say he's a T-shirt salesman, that's what I'm saying. That's
he literally is like a merchandise salesman, and I think he even admits in the documentary that he sells Joe Biden shirts as well, secretly.
But this freaked me out so much because here I am on CNN, which is a pillar of American journalism, and they hit me with the curveball question at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm alone remotely in a room in Midtown Manhattan with a producer looking at me, and I didn't know what to say here. I was fucking terrified. I don't know if you can tell here, but like my heart was beating out of my chest in this moment.
I know the producer that is my friend's brother.
Hell yeah, he was nice. But I'm saying that question also potentially puts me in danger. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're asking me to make a pointed statement about like a right-wing leader like that. Like if I say something incriminating, negative, that puts a target on my head, dude.
Yeah.
Just it does.
The
Like,
Proud Boys.
yeah.
Oh, it also like kind of cucks your future journalistic endeavors as well when you like you have a way of opening a lot of these people up and having them be honest with you.
Yeah.
That you probably wouldn't want to compromise either.
I plan to cover these events in the future. I plan to do more stuff on the right, on the left, and all types of subcultures and fringes and whatever. So if I say something damning about Enrique Tarrio, that puts me in a lot of danger at a future event that I might cover because they're like, that's the guy who said that Enrique Tarrio wanted the Capitol riot to happen or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no details about his involvement, his state of mind, or anything?
I mean, I don't think the movie's not just about like the Capitol riot and all that. It's also about like media echo chambers. You know what I mean? And like the dangers of the 24-hour news cycle, and how I think mainstream media, like Fox and even CNN, like competes for views by running.
Listen, go back to 3 seconds. Listen to that pen click.
CNN like competes for views by running.
Who's doing that? Don Lemon is doing that. He's just pissed off. He's
No, I
frustrated.
think the pen click is some kind of like signifier to the producers.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, like cut this guy off. Listen to it again if you want to hear it.
Constant 24-hour news cycles based upon fear, division, outrage, and panic, probably to like sell ads. So it's not just about the Capitol riot.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. First of all, I don't agree with what you're saying, but I'm not exactly sure of how that played into people going into the Capitol.
I mean, no, but he's a pundit. Like, he's a pundit. The difference between me and like Don Lemon though is that like I openly tell you what my perspective is, right? Like where they are supposed to be the arbiter of truth and objective news analysis.
Well, then it's reasonable that a pundit would understand a valid concern with the 24-hour news cycle.
Yeah,
and the fear machine it creates, right?
But of course, he's that's his bread and butter.
Yeah, but that's not like an offense. I wasn't like being a dick. I was just bringing up something that is addressed in the movie.
Yeah,
on January 6th. There's nothing fake about CNN.
I didn't say.
I'm not saying like fake news. I'm just saying ramping people up and increasing division.
You see how he instantly went for the fake news thing?
Yeah. Well, that's to vilify you to the audience. Because that's
basically to pre-cancel the documentary.
Well, it's to basically just say, well, I don't think they were going to be able to cancel it because
I'm
you're
just saying,
not.
Like they're trying to make it. They're trying to make me seem like I am a.
I think in that moment he's trying to put you in a pocket and basically say that like, oh, you're saying CNN is fake news, so that the audience that's already conditioned into saying, oh, what the fuck is this guy like a right-wing guy?
Yeah.
To go, oh yeah, he must be a right-wing guy because. He's saying CNN is fake news, and I'm conditioned into knowing that that's like a right-wing thing to say.
Yeah.
And during that period of time, just watching people kind of fall down the rabbit hole and be pushed into action and like, falling down the conspiracy rabbit hole.
Yeah, I think more people would consider, what's happening online and what happened with the former president and the messaging that he was putting out there and QAnon and so forth.
I definitely agree 100% with that as well.
Yeah. So listen,
and to be fair, I do think that.
So many
I mean, look, CNN is not the same as like Fox News, but CNN also plays a role in this for sure.
Well, I'm saying online echo chambers are definitely more damaging and effective for propaganda than like the mainstream media outrage. Yeah. But two things can be true at one time.
Yeah.
With this stuff.
It's in your documentary, including a weightlifting scene with conspiracy theorist Alex Jones.
Listen to how
he's literally he's saying that you're friends with the people.
Next thing he says, listen to the way he phrases it. It's a why question. Let's listen.
Yeah, why did you humanize Alex Jones? Is the question.
Yeah, for sure. He can bench press a lot, actually.
Why would you put that in? Why'd you spend so much time with him, and why is he such a big part of this film?
Well, I mean, I just think that like
you hear the way that question was asked
for the documentary.
Yeah, no,
it was an accusatory question.
No, it's clear. Like he hit you with the fake news thing, and now he's saying like you're homies with Alex Jones. It's done in a way that is like there's like still an out for him to be like, well, I mean, I was just saying like, how does Alex Jones's role in January 6th work? But he's not just asking that. He's asking you, why are you hanging out with Alex Jones? Maybe they're just jealous, though. Have you considered that? I mean, maybe they want to hang out with Alex Jones.
Unfortunately, Alex doesn't like me anymore.
Yeah.
It's because of the interview I did with him after the Sandy Hook trial.
Yeah.
There's that part where he's on Hot Mic, asking his producer, like, do I sound good? Is this a good thing that I'm doing? He called me and was like, anyone who uses hot mic audio is no friend to me.
Yeah, which it's not worse than the shit he says on camera.
No, but but I'm saying it was sort of the curtain being pulled back is like, it kind of shows that he's doing like a crazy guy thing.
Yeah.
To get himself out of it.
Yeah. God, one of the best parts is like you guys working out together though.
Yeah. Dude, I had a fun time filming that.
Yeah. He is.
He can lift. I was saying, dude, he's strong as fuck.
He's got like dad strength. You know what I mean? Where you're like, he's taut. Like he's, Cenk has a similar body where it's like, I've talked about this before, where you have like a big belly, like a big gut, but it's not like flabby. It's like you can prod it and you're like, oh shit, this is like rock solid.
Dude, I wish they would have fought so bad, dude.
Oh God. I think Cenk would have beat his ass.
Really?
100%. Dude, he used to be a fucking street like bare knuckle brawler. That motherfucker, like he has a lot of strength too. He could put up like 225.
Yeah,
2 plates like with ease. He is very strong. Anyway, let's continue.
There was just certain moments that were super surreal that just kind of happened, and I felt like we had to kind of leave the footage in. So the Alex Jones weightlifting, whiskey drinking scene would also be one of those moments that I couldn't like leave out of the movie, for sure.
One thing that also stood out was what you heard from people when it comes to like conspiracy theories. I mean, there were parts where like children were shouting.
He looks so pissed.
Why is he so mad?
He's so mad. Like she's younger. I think she's more sympathetic to like your. I mean, I've seen her on some panels where she's like also the same like neoliberal like girl boss shit, like doing that stuff. But she does, given her age, she's probably more familiar with your content and like more sympathetic to like the documentary in general, whereas Don is giving up.
He's furious, dude. And it's not like I called him out. I just talked about the network that he works at.
Yeah. I mean, well, of course, but
I'm
he is
saying,
the face of the network.
Yeah, but it's not him specifically.
Yeah. He is not happy here with you.
He could technically
conspiracy
get a different
theories. And I wondered, as you talked to these people, if you got the sense that they actually believed what they were saying or what your takeaway was.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people, believe what they're saying. I just think that like, the echo chambers and the media, especially more fringe media that a lot of these people are consuming, is pretty all-encompassing, and especially the mythology of QAnon like consumed a lot of people's lives during this period of time, and it kind of like just became everything they wanted to fight for up until the Capitol riot. So that particular scene where I spoke with that family in Georgia, where it was like that the structure and whole basis of their family was like based upon Q and following that kind of lore, was definitely unsettling for sure. But yeah, it's interesting to see where it is now because, I guess hard QAnon stuff has kind of dissipated in terms of
dude,
like,
I sound like
no
such
one
a
posts on the
a
Q boards
stoned
anymore.
California guy. You know what I mean? It's like 6 a.m. I look like I'm high as shit. I'm like, yeah, it's like a.
No, you sound great, bro. You're crazy.
This family's all like super.
You sound great. What are you talking about?
Dude, I sound dumb as shit.
No, it's because you're not, surprisingly for someone who's on camera all the time. I guess you're not used to like seeing yourself on camera in a professional setting like this. Yeah, no, that's just what it is. It's like jitters that come. Yeah. After you do it a million times over, trust me, you won't give a shit. You sound great.
Conservative thought.
All right.
Yeah.
I do think we should point out a lot of those conspiracies are not from legitimate media. That's from like social media and websites where those things are pushed in like dark corners of the internet.
Oh yeah, but it's like people spend their whole time in these dark corners of the internet, so it feels very real to them, especially because I think the biggest problem is probably media literacy. And like taking a lot of this information that's false as fact because of, you're seeing it on Facebook, you're seeing it on Newsmax, you're seeing it on One American News Network, places like that.
Yeah. Andrew Callahan, thank you very much. Best of luck with this. This Place Rules debuts on HBO and streams on HBO Max. That's on December 30th.
Yeah.
Moving on now.
Yeah, they couldn't get the Enrique Tarrio shit out of you, so he was like, oh, fuck this guy.
Should have just started crying. Talking about how Enrique Tarrio is like,
should have been like, yeah,
he's
Enrique,
a monster.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely sucks, but like, like that's my personal assessment.
I interviewed him like 2 years ago, man. Like,
yeah, it was great overall though. Like, I do hope that it pops off. I don't think did HBO do a lot of marketing around it. I feel like they haven't.
No, not really.
It's like kind of a sleeper. Which I don't appreciate. I wish they like promoted it more. You know what I mean?
Dude, it'll promote itself. If it's good and people like it, no promotion budget can bring it there. I think that, I don't know. A lot of people are talking about it. I hope. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I loved it. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
At the same time, too, I barely even care. I'm just like happy to make something on that big of a platform. Like, it's all good.
Yeah. There have been a ton of ads. Wait, really? You've seen ads of the documentary?
Nah, there's no ads.
I haven't seen any ads on the documentary at all. But yeah, it was great. I mean, there's so many good fucking moments in it. One of the things I wanted to, let me see. I put some fucking notes down when I was like watching it too, which was so sick. The Trump blonde lady, like the rapping teacher was awesome. Because like at first I didn't notice that she was like a Trump supporter. So it like caught me by surprise at first. And she was going to say like, I thought she was going to be like a still kind of weird liberal. And then she like, when she turned around and was like, yeah, COVID is fake and all this shit. I was like, oh my God, like Jesus Christ. One thing to mention that I also loved was the woman who was like, I'm apolitical and Trump is gonna get raped in prison.
Oh yeah, that was crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely had the derangement syndrome or whatever.
But that's what that is like. I feel like that's almost on the same vein as like the QAnon people. Obviously not to the same degree, of like mania, but like she is a byproduct of consuming too much CNN.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
And what I mean by that is that like she is not genuinely interested in truly helping in any sort of like emancipatory cause for immigrants, for black people. Andrew, don't hang out with this commie. It's funny. She's not like, these are the same people that like basically now ride for Title 42, which is like a Trump administration era policy, a COVID protection measure, right? That stopped asylum seekers from legally seeking asylum, a human rights abuse, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's definitely a victim of the outrage machine for sure, because like, she's not even really politically involved aside from just having this like burning outrage for just Trump as an individual.
Yeah.
Like not really caring about any deeper systematic problems or actual social issues. Just being like, Trump sucks ass. That's my personality.
Yeah, exactly. And there were so many people
like
were like that. Yeah, so many people were like that. The get back to brunch liberals, right? Like it's normal now. Things are back to normal.
Like most liberals, dude.
Yeah. Things are totally back to normal. Everyone is back to like, their regular order of business, and all of the problems that they were like screaming about, they persist.
Yeah.
Poverty, the structural violence of poverty still very much exists in the lives of all of those people. Police brutality, still a significant problem in black communities. If anything, it's gotten worse as far as like the amount of, as far as like the budgets and the way that we analyze the police, or the way that we look at the police. Like they use the defund the police movement and the BLM protest to like, they weaponized it against like black people, and now also, cops get bigger budgets than ever, and they still, and people are still saying like, oh, these cities are crime ridden, and it's because we're not respecting cops enough.
Dude, when I was in Seattle, I like rented a Camaro or some like super douchebag car just for fun, cause like, and my fucking back window got like busted out with a crowbar or some shit. My backpack got stolen, and so I called the cops. I normally don't call the police, but if you file a claim or whatever on a rental car, you can get like refunded. So I just had to file like a basic report talking about what happened. So I called them like, hey, I want to file a report about how like my car got broken into, so I can submit this shit to Enterprise to get a refund. And the dispatch guy on the phone was like, well, since they defunded us and everything, like, it's gonna be a lot. I'd be surprised if we get there in a couple hours. Like, you're better off using the online portal, and it takes 4 to 6 weeks. I was like, I fucking know that you could help me right now. Yeah, I know that you just actually are purposely not doing your job to prove a point to your own city, the citizens of Seattle. And I've heard hella stories like that. Like,
it's just like it's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Like, what do you mean defunded? Like, that's not a thing. Also, one of the other parts about this is like, even before the defund the police movement, like propaganda, the counter propaganda existed, It's not like cops were fucking great at like claims like that anyway. They never did anything. Like anyone whose iPhone has ever been stolen way back in the day when you could just like directly target, like directly figure out exactly what building the motherfuckers were in. Like I've had my shit stolen in basketball courts and stuff. You know what I mean? It happens. And I know where it is. I know where my fucking phone is. Right? Like, and I want to get it back, but I can't because like, it's not like a cop is ever going to be like, yeah, let's go retrieve your possession. Yeah. It's just not going to happen. It's not a thing that ever happens. You're not getting your shit back. Cops will just tell you, yeah, GG's, you know, good luck. Good luck on your endeavor.
Yeah, but to hear them actually pretend like they can't do their job anymore because of the defund the police movement is insane. Like, they still have a lot of fucking funding.
Yeah. No, they never got defunded. That was a fucking complete lie, but it doesn't matter. Like in
Portland, they actually have more funding now.
Yeah. No, everywhere. Everywhere around the country, they got more funding than the year prior, and yet they complain and they're just somehow shittier at their jobs than they were already, and they were pretty fucking shitty at their jobs to begin with. So, you know, that's just how it is. But yeah, let's get to Barbara Walters. And but because I don't want to keep you here for super long. I mean, you've already been here for fucking hours doing the podcast and stuff.
I'm not doing shit tonight. Like, everyone makes a big deal out of New Year's.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a forced party night. You know, it's like you gotta be somewhere crazy. You have to stay up super fucking late, and you have to have a kiss. I'm like, bro, I'm good on all that. I'm just gonna go to my house.
Yeah. I still don't have like any real plans right now. I just want to like be with friends, you know what I mean? So
I want to be with like one or two friends.
That's what I'm gonna try to figure out.
I don't even have any real resolutions because something dope just happened.
Yeah, well, this is the perfect time to come up with new resolutions, though.
Yeah, what should we do, bro?
Well, for me, mine is serving the top of the hour ad break right now. That's that's what I'm gonna do.
Is this for Cash App?
No. At the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break that I run, and if they no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you could do for $5 or for free with Twitch Prime, by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, or by getting gifted a sub if you're lucky. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Better segues than every other year. That's what one of my New Year's resolutions, baby. The Prime Danky, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Olet86, thank you for the 5. Alpha Josie, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. See, look, they're rating it.
My movie?
Look at the chat. No, they're not rating the movie. Oh. So what we do in the chat is I serve a 3-minute ad break at the top of every hour, and then a 1 minute in the middle of the hour. Which that's a secret one though. I just like click and then whatever. But they rate the segue depending on like if they like it or not.
Yeah.
If it was like a good one that like caught them off guard, they give it a 10-10. You know.
Cool.
And then we have a bot in the chat that tracks it called Top of the Hour Bot that compiles all the fucking ratings. That tracks it, compiles all the ratings, and puts it together and gives you like a final rating for the ad segue. Anyway, that's just like really some silly lore from the community. Explaining it makes it sound insane. Yeah, well, serving it and then not fucking explaining it seems a little bit weirder if the entire chat is just like putting numbers out there. Happy New Year from Ireland. Happy New Year to Ireland. Okay, I should have done it anyway. What is this? Oh yeah, this is a New Year's resolution for you, I think. You can do more of this stuff, right?
Protest at Drag Queen Story Hour more?
Yeah.
Stop making my kids gay.
We'll look at that in a second. Hold up one moment.
My kids are straight.
God of Fist, thank you for the 5 gifted. And King Ghidorah, thank you for the 5 gifted as well. Hassan 1010 segue, thank you as well. Okay. All right. So, did you wish your Turkish fans a New Year? We missed it. Sorry. Thank you for reminding me. Happy New Year's. Mutlu yıllar for the Turks. What is the rating? I'm waiting for it. I can't see. I haven't caught it. Oh, 705 chatters rated the ad segue an average of 7.34 out of 10.
Nice.
Not bad. Not bad. Okay. All right. So let's start with Barbara Walters real quick. Okay. So Barbara Walters had like a really interesting background, really interesting career, I would say. She just passed away yesterday. She was a very contentious interviewer who I think is like a dying breed, especially in mainstream media, unfortunately.
Was she epic?
She had some good dunks. She had some good moments, but also some very bad ones. And I'm going to show you the good ones, and then I'm going to show you the bad ones. So this is Aisha Siddiqui, who posted about Barbara. I think this is very informative. She says, I don't care to lionize Barbara, but seeing this is a reminder that there aren't many journalists in the American mainstream who'd speak this way to someone this close to their face. Instead, we have self-aggrandizing and subject laundering access journalism of like Maggie Haberman, the Newsy lady and the like.
Let's check it out.
So here is a highlight from her career for sure.
Well, the new book is entitled Surviving at the Top. There are many people who would say failing at the top.
I hope the general public understands how inherently dishonest the press in this country is.
As a member of the press, let me try to clear up some of the things which you say are untrue. You write in your book, my bankers and I worked out a terrific deal that allows me to come out stronger than ever. I see the deal as a great victory, and eventually the rest of the world will too. Being on the verge of bankruptcy, being bailed out by the banks,
Well, you don't have to say on the
skating on thin ice and almost drowning, that's a businessman to be admired?
Blast
you
and
say
save.
on the
Thank you
verge
for the
of
5
bankruptcy,
gifted.
Barbara, and you talk on the verge, and you listen to what people are
I
saying.
talk to your bankers.
Well, that's fine. And what do they say? I mean, depending on which banker you're talking to,
Several.
what do they say? I'm the only one people write about. I mean, they don't write about other people.
You have a little more debt than most people. You're something like $3 billion
I
in
also
debt.
have a little more assets than most people.
Okay. You have debts to pay back.
Right.
You have huge loans to pay back. You say the country is in a depression. What makes you think that you can pay back those loans? And further, what your bankers have told us is that the only way you even have a chance is by selling that property out there totally, the plaza.
Well, I don't know what the bankers have said. The plaza's a very valuable property. Everybody told me, oh, you paid too much, you paid too much. Now they're all saying what a great deal he made
No,
on the
they're not.
plaza.
You yourself
No, they're not.
said that
I get it. She definitely
you
has a
saw your
purpose.
children maybe once a week.
It's not really my style, but she's very clearly good at what she does, which is like calling. people
Yeah,
on their
she's
bullshit.
she's very cutting. She does her research ahead of time,
Yes.
and she's quick with the retorts, which is good.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say rest in power.
No. I'll show you some bad shit.
You're
that
having
she
a
used to
lot
do
of
as well.
difficulties with your 12-year-old son, Donna. You haven't talked to him since May.
Oh, that's-
Do you
that's a
believe
low
in
blow.
fidelity? In
No,
marriage?
not this. This one's fine.
Yes, absolutely.
She did. I don't care about her cutting into Trump about like Don Jr. who fucking.
Oh, she interviewed Fidel Castro.
Yeah, like she's done some good shit, but I do find it funny that she ripped into Trump for his like shitty experiences or shitty relationship with his son.
In the current issue of Vanity Fair, the author Marie Brenner says that you read from Hitler's collective speeches, My New Order, and that these are speeches that you seem to admire. What's your reaction? Do you have this book?
A friend of mine sent me a book. A man who I think is Jewish, although I don't know.
Although I don't know. So that was fine. Here's another good one. Like if she was good at being an asshole.
Yeah.
So if she was going up against fucking assholes,
Sean Connery is like kind of bad man.
yeah, loves beating women and stuff, right? Like was an Olympic wife beater. Basically.
Oh, he has like quotes about it. Being like,
Yeah.
that's like
Years ago, you did an interview, which may come back to haunt you. You know what I'm going to say, right?
No.
Okay. You did an interview in which you said, not the
I just want to point something out here. We don't have this anymore.
bald people.
I feel like in Hollywood there was a point in time when you had like dudes who would just like openly rock this. You know what I mean? Now you got like Woody Harrelson. That's like one of the few. You know what I mean?
Vin Diesel.
No, but like
And
he
you
went
have,
full. No, he went full cut. I'm saying like there's a very specific type of fucking bald that just like kept the side and the back. You know what I mean? Which was such a weird look. I always thought it was a very weird look to just like keep the hair, the remainder hair on like the sides and the horseshoe. And I don't know. I feel like motherfuckers don't rock the horseshoe in like in these settings any longer. The cul-de-sac. Yeah, I like that.
The worst thing to slap a woman now and then. As I remember, you said you don't do it with a clenched fist. It's better to do it with an open hand.
Yeah, he gave like tips on how to beat your significant other, which is crazy.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I didn't love that.
I haven't changed my opinion.
You haven't?
No.
You think it's good to slap a woman?
No, I don't think it's good. I
don't think it's bad?
I don't think it's that bad. I think that it depends entirely on the circumstances and if it merits it. Yeah.
The circumstances.
Well, if you have tried everything else, and women are pretty good at this, they can't leave it alone. They don't want to have the last word, and you give them the last word, but they're not happy with the last word. They want to say it again and get into a really provocative situation. Then I think it's absolutely right.
Like, he didn't just say, like, circumstances need to be dealt with. He's just like, no, it's fucking sick. You should do it.
The first top G.
Yeah, he's the. I mean, back in the day, they don't make men like this anymore. You know what I
Dudes who
mean?
beat their wife, yeah.
Yeah, dudes who openly fucking.
Society's fucking changing.
Yeah, they openly celebrate beating their wives.
When they
want to Good stop slap. talking.
Yeah, absolutely.
What if she gives you a good slap back?
Well, then you get into another area. I mean, then maybe she's getting to like it, and then it becomes something else. I don't know. But no, seriously, I think that it's the last resort. He's not going to do it because he wants to do it.
Wait till people see this interview. Are you going to get mail?
Oh, shit. She told him like that.
Yeah.
That dude's a fucking loser, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's just like. I can't speak to the validity of the site, but I was curious. Found it Libra Stellium. Okay, anyway, this was part of why I said don't lionize her. Where does this site get people's? Oh yeah, people probably fucking yelled at this person, so they deleted the tweet, which sucks. But yeah, no, she was definitely like kind of weird. This is like here. This is not a great. This is definitely not a great interview for Barbara, where she like keeps up this like contentious attitude. Right? Aisha Esquire, thank you for the 5 get the subs. She keeps up this contentious attitude in fucking interviews where she's like talking to victims and shit. You know what I mean? Which is like not great. Anyway.
I'm saying that there are people that
is Nick Offerman.
Were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working. They're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
And they are.
And they do not want me saying what I'm saying right now.
Are you saying that they're pedophiles?
Yes.
And that they're still in this business?
Yes.
That's what. Yeah, and that's what you're saying in your book. When you talk to when you talk to
And they don't want
parents,
me here right now. Trust
Corey,
me. They want me dead.
there are a lot of parents out here
Is that
who
Ron
want to put their
Swanson?
kids in this.
What
Yeah.
the fuck is going on there?
This is The View, baby. This is Nick
What?
Offerman in the flesh.
Why is he in such a serious interview?
Well, I don't know, actually.
What
I don't
in
know
the
why he's
fuck?
there. That is weird,
That is
though.
the worst guy for this situation right now.
But maybe he was just like, I don't know. Maybe
Did he
he
used to
wasn't.
have serious conversations about stuff like this?
I have no
in this
idea. I
outfit?
don't know why he's in the fucking Corey Feldman interview.
Holy
I don't know.
shit. All right.
This business. Their kids are cute. They're great actors. Da, da, da. What would you say to a parent who just has the best of intentions, who's coming here with their child? If you're saying that there's a lot of predators in this industry.
They're like they're riding for Hollywood.
They're protecting the industry.
And she's like Barbara Walters did this to like Drew Barrymore as well, like weirdly, but like was like weirdly reinforcing some of the awful things that Hollywood has done to her in interviews as well. Like
It's a
she's just done-
many-feathered bird. Okay? Be careful what you wish for. That's what I'll tell you. You know, don't go into it with naivety. Don't go into it thinking that it's all roses and
You're
sunglasses and
damaging an entire industry.
I'm sorry.
I wanna
I'm
clear
not
up.
trying
You said
to.
that-
I'm just trying to say that it's a very important, serious topic.
You said that there was one gentleman in the industry who did not take advantage of you. He was not a pedophile. You said it was Michael Jackson.
No, his name is Michael Jackson. She says.
I'm saying,
yeah, he's like he rides for Michael Jackson.
Barbara Walters has had some good and bad moments here, clearly.
Okay, last one before you leave. Last one before you leave. Norm Macdonald's Barbara Walters joke. I don't know what this is.
Barbara Walters is planning to announce her retirement. What's next for Babs? Death.
The old Norm Macdonald is.
I mean, he was right.
Rest in peace to P22.
Yeah, he was right. Norm Macdonald also, shouts out to Norm. He too also died For those of you who don't know. Anyway, okay. All right. Well, I don't want to keep you any longer. Thank you so much for coming, Andrew. This was wonderful. This was a fucking awesome experience to have you back on the show.
Fuck yeah, man. Always a pleasure.
And you're in LA for a while, right? We'll hang out.
Going to El Paso soon.
Oh, okay. Never mind. We won't hang out.
Oh, we'll hang out
before you leave. All right. Well, hopefully everybody gets to watch it. Anything you want to promote, go ahead.
Yeah, just go to HBO Max and watch This Place Rules and tell me what you guys think.
And patreon.com/channel5.
Yeah, join Patreon if you guys want to.
Yeah.
Patreon, optional. This Place Rules, I would highly recommend that you watch it because I worked on it for 2 years and it's my first movie. It's my directorial debut.
Hell yeah. And it was a wonderful one. Yeah, Brace made a cameo. Not the boy, which is fine. Not the kid. I did not make a cameo in the documentary.
The kid will make a cameo
in the second one, hopefully.
You can be in Kelly J. Patriot.
In the what? You're doing that?
Do you want to be in Kelly J. Patriot?
Sure. Okay. I mean, I've hung out with him.
Cool. We can talk about homes being stolen and such. No one even knows that how good the Kelly J. Patriot documentary is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who's hung out with him, I can sense that it will be very good,
dude. Because okay, before I go, I love This Place Rules, but the scope was so massive. I'm making a movie about a huge event, January 6th, that has so much to it that couldn't make the cut, and obviously different angles that weren't in my narrative because it was just my perspective on it. The Kelly J. Patriot movie is like full coverage of like a family, and I'm just excited about it. But I'm really excited about This Place Rules too.
Yeah,
go watch it if you want to, but you fucking should because it's good. I think.
Yeah, it is really good. We're gonna hype it up so that they give you more money and you make more cool documentaries. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you for coming on, man.
Appreciate it.
All right.